So, Paul, this is a big day for you and your family, not only because it's Veterans Day, but because this afternoon, what are you doing?
I'll be dropping the puck at center ice at the Bruins game this afternoon.
How did that come about?
They called me and asked me, if I'd do that. Of course, today being Veterans Day, they have their salute to the armed services, and this year they wanted to salute the KIAs. So they were having a board discussion, and someone brought up my name, and I guess they were pretty excited about having me in there.
How do you feel about all this attention that you've gotten, in part because of this song, but also because of what you've done?
I don't relish the attention at all, really. I'd rather be in the background. I don't do any of this because it brings me any attention, because I don't really want it. It's about the Gold Star parents, those people that have lost a child. That's what's so important here, and so many times they're overlooked. I don't think people understand the grief that a parent goes through that's lost a child. It's very, very different than the grief that you have when you lost a parent. When you lose a parent, you've lost your past. But when you lose a child, you've lost your future. There's, thinking about my own son, it's like, well, I'll never get to hold his children, my grandchildren, on my lap. And he and I will never get to go to a Bruins game together, or a Red Sox or a Patriots game together. And we won't be able to go fishing together, or just sit together at his house or my house and watch television and have a conversation. So what you end up with is a totally empty road in front of you, and you don't know what your direction is anymore.
You, of course, have become associated with your son's truck and now the country music, the Lee Brice song. Take me back. How did you find out about that?
That's the craziest thing. Of course, Connie Harrington, Jesse Alexander, and Jimmy Yeary, the writers of the song, they began writing that song in 2011 when Connie heard an interview I was doing with NPR on the radio and heard that I drove my son's truck. Now, that was in 2011. They penned the song, they got Lee Brice to sing it, and it was released. But in 2013, almost 2 years later, I received a message on Facebook from a friend of mine whose son was killed in the same battle as my son. And she sent me this link to the song called I Drive Your Truck. And she told me that she drove her son Patrick's truck. And she knew I drove Jared's truck. So I listened to the song, and it was very tearful. And I just passed it off. And it was 2 months later,